my name is Sunyoung and I'm half amazing. Well, as you can see, I'm in my room again. As usual, I decided not to move my table all the way to the middle of the room so I can get better lighting. I'm just using my phone as a flashlight because I'm lazy and I don't want to have to move it. As you know, I'm more of a silly person who likes going outside and walking around. Today, I couldn't do that because it's raining outside. So I thought I'd sit here and talk to you about something a little more serious. It's about me and sort of why I'm in Korea, why I want to continue to be in Korea, and part of the reason why I started the channel. I thought that now that I have 100 subscribers, I should share it with you. As you know, I've mentioned before, or if you don't already know, my name is Sunyoung. That's spelled like sun in the sky and the opposite of old. I also tell people that's how you pronounce it because people get confused. I am half Korean. I was born and raised in Minnesota. Yay, Midwest and the cold weather! I am the daughter of my mother, who is from Iowa, and my father, who was adopted from Korea to Minnesota. Being a child of an adoptee, I think, is sort of an interesting concept because there's a lot of talk about adoptees and finding their parents, which is very interesting. But I feel like, personally, it's interesting being the child of an adoptee. So my dad was born in Korea. He doesn't remember much. I got documents that my dad had. They're pretty old documents that they typed up in English in Korea to send to my grandparents about my dad's condition and what he remembers about his past, etc., etc. I've also talked to my dad, read some things he wrote as a kid, so this is what I have gathered from that research. My dad was found in Seoul. I'm not sure how old he was. I know he was old enough to be walking because he was out with his mother, and she left him outside of the report says West Gangnam Police Station. I'm not sure what that is or where that is. I would like to try to find that, but I don't know. But they found him in Gangnam, not Gangnam. I hate when people say Gangnam. And they took him to the hospital where he was treated because my dad had polio in Korea. I have been told, I'm not sure, that they didn't have a vaccine for polio in Korea at the time when my dad was born, and so he just had polio and there was nothing that anybody could do about it. As a result, he had to walk around on crutches all the time, and his legs were underdeveloped, and one of them is like longer than the other. He was sent to the hospital and was sent to an orphanage for children in Yeongdeungpo. I don't know if you watched my Christmas video, but I actually went there for the first time in Christmas, which was very exciting. He stayed in that orphanage until he was 9 years old. My grandparents adopted a lot of children. They were looking in this magazine and flipping through the pages, and they found this picture of my dad, and they thought, he is so cute. We have to adopt him. And he is really cute. Look at this face. Seriously? They immediately tried to find out how they could adopt him. As for my father's family, no idea where they are, where they're from. I'm assuming they're from around the Gangnam area. I've talked to some Korean people. They said no one would go all the way to Seoul and just drop off their kid. I don't know how accurate that is, but I don't know. They could be living in Seoul, they could be living anywhere by now. My dad told me, and I have seen in several things that he wrote as a child, and I have seen in his report, that somehow his father had passed away. Not sure how that happened. I don't know. And they had a farm or something, maybe? I don't even know. I don't know anything. I know nothing! The document says exactly this. He lived with his mother and a brothers. Really? Does that mean one brother, or does that mean more than one brother? And they could be living in Korea right now. But his last name is Kim, so finding them is gonna be a little hard because everyone in Korea is either Kim, Park, or Lee. I'm assuming what happened is my dad's father died, and my dad's mother had him plus a brothers and didn't know what to do, so she probably left him outside the police station so he would be found and would be treated for having his polio, is what my guess is. I'd like to believe her intentions were good. I mean, I'd like to think that she left him so that he could get better care from people who could give it to him. Whether or not that's the case, I have no idea. Anyway, my dad was adopted at age 9, and he moved to Minnesota, and went through schooling and pretty much forgot all of his Korean. He remembered how to count to 10, and he remembered how to say come here, and he remembered how to say poop. That's pretty much it. The fun thing about having my dad is that he lived in Korea until he was 9, so he can remember things. When I first started studying Korean, I was learning names of countries, and so I was learning America, which is 미국. And I said, Dad, did you know that America is 미국 in Korea? And it spurred something in his head, and he was kind of sitting there, and he went, 미국, 한국, 대한민국. And I was like, what? How do you know all that? Even I don't know what 대한민국 means. Oh my goodness, I was dumbfounded. Like, he suddenly just remembered that. So every once in a while, something like that will happen, and it's very, very interesting. Also, he loves Korean food. He wants to come back to Korea at some point. Since I was young, Dad didn't really ever mention finding his family or try to find his family, so I'm assuming to him, maybe he just doesn't want to. It is a lot of work, and I get that, because he was adopted so long ago, and during, like, in the 80s, I think, and during that time, they had, like, really, really bad record keeping, and everything was lost. I started learning Korean by myself in high school because I was learning Spanish at the time. I've always loved other languages and cultures, but I thought to myself, hey, I'm Korean. I should learn Korean, and I should eat Korean food, and I should learn about Korea, because that's half of my identity that I never even thought about until high school. So for 4 years, I tried very hard to study Korean and learn about as much as I could on my own. And then I went to university and I majored in Korean, and now I'm here working in Korea. I did try to find about my dad's information, his social security, his Korean social security number, just anything, and I couldn't. I didn't have any documents. All I had was like an old passport that Dad used to get from Korea to the US. That's useless. A bunch of documents explaining his condition, physically useless. Pretty much just a bunch of nothings. I called the adoption agency in America. They said they are not allowed to release his information to me because of the Korean government's new law, so it's impossible for them to give it to me. I contacted the embassy, the Korean embassy in America. They could not find anything. I contacted like a district office in Yeongdeungpo. They said they had someone matching his birth date and age, but they will not give me information until I can find his social security number, which nobody will give me. So I kind of reached a dead end. I tried for 3 months in the summer to try to find his information, and absolutely nothing worked. So I think finding his parents, finding out about his identity in Korea is going to be impossible. Literally impossible. So I've kind of given up hope on that, but at least I can find out where he lived. That's fine with me. And I'm sure that's fine with him too. Part of the reason why I'm in Korea and why I like Korea and Koreans so much is that it's part of my heritage. My goal to be here is just to learn about language, practice living in the lifestyle, and also maybe try to find some things like about my dad and where he lived. I hope to find Dad's old orphanage. I don't think it's in the same location that it was in Yeongdeungpo, but I still want to visit the Yeongdeungpo area as well as the new area. So yeah, that's it. I'm kind of just in Korea to discover part of my heritage and myself, and it's the culture, the language, the food, everything is great, and it's always a new experience, and I feel at home here. I feel at home in America, and I feel at home in Korea, and that's really great. That's a little bit about me and my story. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, press that like button, and please subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more of my videos. Thanks for watching. Bye!